Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Is it?
Put it in front.
I can't tell. What can you see in the camera?
It's great. It's great.
Perfect.
You just lean back a little bit.
Lean back. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatihi lima ulika wa katimi lima sabaka nasir al-haqi bil-haq wa hadi ila siratika al-mustaqim wa ala alihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdar azim. Inner Circle Teachings. Sister Zoe, we finally meet. And we have Dawood here and Ari, like the tea, not like the steak. First time she said that, I laughed like it was Eddie Murphy. But yes, please ask your question.
What is Sufism?
What is Sufism? Sufism is the ancient system for the transformation of man into God. It's the ancient system to transform you into God, to transform you into Allah. It's a system of the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. In nature, everything becomes what it came from. Just think about this. It's natural. An apple seed becomes an apple. A tadpole becomes a frog. A minnow becomes a fish. An oak seed becomes an oak tree. Whatever you came from, that's what you evolved back into. We came from Allah. We came from God. So based on nature, we're supposed to evolve back into God. It's not about a religion. This is nature. If everything in creation goes back to what it came from, and that's the completion of that being, our completion is becoming God. So Sufism is the system that can transform you from that caterpillar to the butterfly that you actually already are. It's already inside of you. Yes.
So when do you reach like your final stage?
This is a catch-22. Allah says in the Quran, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Kul hu Allahu ahad, Allahu samad. Say Allah is one. Say Allah is eternal. This is where the issue comes in. When do you reach your completion? You don't. Because Allah is eternal, is infinite. You never finish God. Anyone who says they have arrived has been lost. Anyone who says I am lost might have arrived. Because we become lost in the ocean of God. So you never reach your full completion, but the perfection of the human being is infinite. The stages of perfection that you can reach are infinite. It's beyond what we call an ordinary human being. The butterfly and the caterpillar are anatomically different. The God-realized woman and the average woman are anatomically, spiritually, physically, mentally different. You won't be the same. You look in the mirror as you, but it's not you, it's who? It's God. So, the journey is infinite. There's a journey from God to God, and then there's a journey. The journey from God to God has an ending. But the journey in God is infinite. And the good part is, the closest place to meet God is inside of your heart, inside of you. Because ultimately, you are God. You are returning back to that which you already are. But because of the conditioning of this Western society, we start thinking, I got a birthday, I got a mother, I got a father, I'm a black, white, Hispanic, I'm Muslim, Christian, Jew, Buddhist. We come to whatever society we're born in, and they give us these labels. But all these labels are false. What's God's name in the Old Testament? Somebody went up on the mountain and talked to God, and God said, tell the people my name is.
I don't want to get it wrong.
Who went up on the mountain and talked to God, turned his hair white?
Moses did.
Musa, went up in the mountain and talked to God. That mountain is your consciousness. all these stories about going up on the mountain and talking to God, or going in a cave, if they say they went up in the mountain and talked to God, it was an elevated consciousness. If they said they went into a cave and talked to God, it was journeying into the heart. So Musa said he went up on a mountain, he reached the elevated state of consciousness, and he talked to God, and God said, my name is I am. So if I say, what's God's name, and you say, I am, it becomes elementary.
She's already there.
Yeah.
So, what are like the three most important like values of Sufism? Like, what do you?
Get your hand out my pocket. How did you know it was 3?
No. I was gonna say 4, but I just said.
It's 3. Our system. Hopefully one of these will work. Our system is based on the number 3. And it's based on what we call the eternal triangle. Triangle of the 3 lights. Like this. The triangle of the 3 lights. Everything starts with love at the top. Love is the first principle. They asked the Sheikh, they said, Sheikh Ahmadabama, what's your religion? He said, my religion is love. Man, wait a minute. I'm in the mood for love, simply because you're near to me. I'm in the mood for the love of God because God is near me. Allah said in the Holy Quran, I'm closer to you than your jugular vein. Say to Allah, did you hear that bell? Oh, I was going to say.
If the bells or a horn comes on, you'll notice that here. And that's a sign.
That what we're saying is the truth.
Yes.
Ding. Allah is saying ding. Yep, that's some true stuff. So.
And what's the odds it's my phone?
Yeah, so you already have love of God. My master told me on the very first day I went to Africa in 1996, sat on the couch next to my master, which never happens. All the disciples sit on the floor. Nobody sits on the couch next to the master. It's disrespectful. The first day I got to my sheikh's house in Senegal, West Africa, walked in his house, he said these words to me. He said, as soon as you step foot in this house, Allah begin to bless you. I'm telling you, as soon as you step foot in this house, Allah begin to bless you. My sheikh said this, the only one closer to God than you is the one who loves God more than you. And I'm telling you the exact same. I'm telling everybody the same thing. Dawood, the only one closer to Allah than you is the one who loves Allah more than you. It's all love. But what's so beautiful about love is love got its own triangle. Love is a divine essence without form. But love needed a lover. Love needed a beloved. What's the good of having all this love if you can't show it to nobody? Love polarized itself into what we call lover and beloved. Imagine that. The being of love split itself in two and became the lover and the beloved. So the love affair between you and God is really God loving herself through you. Because love don't belong to you. Love belongs to God. One of God's names is love. Wadu. Al-Wadu. Allah's love, you heard that in the West. This love said, I need to be loved. And I need someone to love me. So love polarized itself. The being of love came on earth and became you. You became the lover. And your love for God made God your beloved. But it was really a relationship with God. Through God, through God. You loving God is God loving God. Through you. Master Ibn Arabi said, Allah sent Allah to Allah with Allah. Hold up. Wait a minute. Allah sent Allah to Allah with Allah. This being of love, this being of God, sent itself, which was love, to itself, which was you, with itself, which was love. The whole thing is love. So, once you start with love, Sheikh Ahmed Bamba said, our path has, to be a true disciple, you must have 8 good qualities. The Sheikh said to be a Murid Sadiq, a true disciple of the Sheikh, you got to have 8 good qualities. I could give you a talk on the 8 qualities. But the Sheikh said the first quality, what you think it is? He said love of God is the first quality. He said if you have love of God, it will bring you the other 7 qualities. So, with love, faith without works is dead, right?
That's right.
You can say you love God all you want. But until you start putting in some work or service to God because you love God and want to serve God, your work, your love is just fabricated. The proof of love is work and service. The proof of your love for God is work and service. Sheikh Ahmed Bamba said, Kylie Gale Mama Fela. Sheikh Ahmed Bamba said, come work for me, I'll pay you. The greatest work for God is feeding people. Who can't do that? Give somebody some food.
Yeah. We got to establish like we did that.
Give somebody some food.
Yeah.
Feed a homeless person. Cook food for your friends. Give food to your children. Give somebody some food. It's the highest act of worship. To a homeless person, food is God. To a homeless person, food is God. But ask Sheikh Ahmed Bamba, is there anything greater than Islam? You would think there's nothing greater than Islam. Because in the Holy Quran, Allah says, on this day I have perfected your way of life, and I have called your way of life Islam. So Islam is not a religion, it's a perfect way of life. You know the sun, moon, and stars practice Islam. The rivers, the trees, the birds, all the animals practice Islam. All the universes practice Islam. Islam means peace. Everything in the universe, the 4 seasons rotate in peace.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Everything practices Islam.
Everything is practicing Islam except man.
That's a fact.
Man wants to do something that's not peaceful. Bitch,
Even the rock.
yeah,
He said,
a rock is practicing
He
Islam.
said, if you don't praise me, my rocks will praise me.
Allah says in the Holy Quran, every form of creation has its form of worship. The trees are worshiping God. The birds are worshiping God. The ants are worshiping God. This table is worshiping God. The human being has forgot God. I got these Timbs on. What you talking about, some God? Nigga, I got Timbs. No. So the Timbs became his God. Allahu Akbar, astaghfirullah. So, feed some people. They asked Sheikh Ahmed Bamba, is there anything greater than Islam? Sheikh Ahmed Bamba said the only thing greater than Islam is feeding people. He said if a person is hungry, he can't hear your Islam. But if you give him some food, he might listen to what you got to say. So, love and work. The result of working for God is illumination. How you spell illumination?
ILLUMINATION.
Yes.
I'm still listening. I wanted to touch on what she asked when she said that what's the final step? Isn't it death?
No.
Death is the beginning.
Well, would that be the final step for us here?
Nope.
Death is still the beginning.
So what happens?
Let me talk about this illumination, then I'll come to death. Because Prophet Muhammad says, die before you die. So, there's 3 forms of death. And then I'll get to illumination since we're on that question. There's 3 forms of death. Fana, which is Fanafi Sheikh, Fanafi Rasul, and Fanafi Allah. The Prophet Muhammad said, die before you die. Die before you die, which means let all of your bad qualities die. Die to being angry. Die to being lazy. Die to being anything that's negative in you has to die.
Could that also mean that you should like not be bound to anything? Because like if you die before you die, that's like nothing really matters because it's not permanent.
Yeah. In a sense.
That's in Buddhism where Buddha says attachment is the root cause of all suffering. Attachment is the root cause of all suffering. What you reading?
Living kindness. Okay.
What it say?
It's living kindness.
It's a Buddhist book.
Ah. See,
She's searching in another.
I can say for a fact, I was a Buddhist in my last lifetime. I live in a Buddhist temple. I have so much affinity for Buddhism, it could not have came from this birth. Our master Serene Salih, and who was the son of Sheikh Ahmad Bamba, the last living son, the master Serene Salih said in West Africa, he's Muslim. He said, I have a representative in the Buddhist tradition. What would make a master in West Africa say that? Then I was like, yeah, now I know why I got so much love for Buddhism. And to make it plain, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna, Sheikh Ahmad Bamba, and you are the same person. What? Boom. She said, oh shit. Yeah, for real. Oh shit. All the holy books is about you.
Did you hear the sound right after you said that?
I know. I just want to know, did you see it?
That's why I said it. And I looked at you.
I'm like,
All the holy books is about you.
yeah.
You wrote every holy book. All the prophets exist as an aspect of your own consciousness. There's an aspect of your consciousness that is Jesus. There's an aspect of your consciousness that is Moses. There's an aspect of your consciousness that is Melchizedek, Kidder. There's an aspect of your consciousness that is Dawood. There's an aspect that's Job. There's an aspect of your consciousness that is the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. You have to activate this consciousness
Wow, man, this teaching is
through something we call illumination. Illumination is the activation of the latent qualities of God and all the prophets inside of yourself. Illumination is the process of activating all the qualities of the prophets of God and Allah inside of yourself. That's illumination.
You wouldn't say that would be the final level, no? Because once you unlock everything, isn't that you becoming God?
Yes, but
It doesn't end, is what you're saying.
yes.
I get it.
Imagine an ocean that has no bottom.
It's the infinite. Like he said
infinite, samad,
Yeah.
eternal.
eternal. Like you're saying, once you say you're God, it's like it's totally eternal.
Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Wow. Sometimes I recorded 2 lectures that was so deep.
They didn't record it. That's so unfortunate.
And it said, one of them said 40 minutes recorded. I went to play it wouldn't even play back. And I was like, yeah, the stuff I said in there about the masters, it ain't for nobody that wasn't in this room.
What is that?
So, illumination. Love God, work and serve for God. The last point is illumination. The master says, when you love Allah, you put in the work and service Allah, for Allah, which is called khidmah. When you do the khidmah and service, a divine light of God will come directly to your heart and give you illumination. This divine light that comes from God in Arabic is called wilayat. Wilayat, Dawood, is what makes you a wali. You heard the term wali. Wali means saint. Every Sufi aspirant wants to become a wali, a saint. A wali is a friend of God. You and God become friends. One of Allah's names is Al-Wali. The sheikh is a wali. The true disciple becomes a wali, a friend of Allah, through this wilayat that comes from loving God and working for God. But the sheikh says that this light that comes, that gives you illumination, inside of the light is knowledge of the unseen. There's knowledge of the seen, sun, moon, and stars, planets, herbs, medicine, anatomy, astronomy, numerology, Tai Chi, Qigong. All this is knowledge of the seen. But there is a knowledge of the unseen.
Like energy?
Knowledge of energy and how it applies itself to this universe. Because God is energy. This is the true knowledge. My sheikh said, if it doesn't pertain to Allah, it's not knowledge.
And everything pertains to Allah, right?
And everything is Allah. Allah is everything. So this is love, work, and illumination, or wilayat. And it starts with love. And she asks, what are the 3 principles? Love, work, and illumination. We gotta hang this up in here somewhere. Next question, please.
How do you begin your journey to Sufism? Is that the proper way to say?
Now you cooking with gas. How do you begin your journey in Sufism? They say in West Africa, Ku Omor Surin, Satan Moisin Surin. They say in West Africa, for the one who has no sheikh, the devil, the shaitan, is their sheikh. For the one who has no guru and no teacher, the devil, the shaitan, is their guru, their teacher. This could be their own ego saying, I don't need a teacher, I can reach God. I'm already God, I don't need a teacher to reach God. The first thing in the Sufi order is finding a master, finding a teacher, and accepting the teacher to become a disciple. And it's the exact same in the Buddhist tradition. Do you know what the 3 Buddhist vows are when you become a Buddhist? They call it taking refuge. The Buddha said the exact same thing the Sheikh said. The Buddha said to join our community, you must take refuge in the 3 jewels, which is, I seek refuge in the Buddha.
She good, man. She
I
good.
didn't know you spoke up, sorry.
Oh, she.
Nah, she wouldn't know you smoke. You don't look like you smoke.
I seek refuge in the Buddha.
I'm sorry, I would have been that.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
all good.
actually trying to pass it, but he was speaking.
Yeah, no, I know
wanted
you did,
to
you
look.
did, but
I wanted to look.
but we got caught up when the belt, that thing went off again.
Yeah.
But that thing went off again. That's why we was all like, you know.
So the 3 refuges of the Dharma, of the illustrious one, are, I seek refuge in the Buddha, I seek refuge in his teaching, in the Dharma, and I seek refuge in the Sangha, the community. The first thing is seeking refuge in the Buddha. And in Sufism, that's called taking the bayat with the sheikh. Same principle. Then you seek refuge in the teachings. The Sheikh will give you the teachings of Sufism so you can study. And the community is important because grapes grow ripe on the vine together. Remember that. Grapes grow ripe on the vine together. So Sufism is a communal thing. It's about the Jamaat, Yajamu. So all of the souls are coming together to elevate together as a soul group under a living master. So someone who wants to go on the journey, as Allah says in the Quran, wa ilayhi turja'un, and to Allah is the journey. To Allah, wa ilayhi turja'un, to Allah is the return. Wa ilayhi al-masir, to Allah is the journey. This is a concept in the Quran. Everything is returning to God. The Sufi just says, I want to return to God now. There's a sense of urgency. I got to do this before I drop the body. Because I don't believe in death. Life is eternal. So I want to be God conscious when I leave this body because I know I'm going to another universe. So the first thing is to find a teacher and take the initiation.
It's and it's not like, it's like a marriage. It's like a covenant. And when I say marriage in Islam, we believe you do not delay. Three things: the salat, the death, and buried right there, and marriage. So, you right here, and I know you want to think on things, but he is the sheikh, he is the teacher, he's the real deal.
I know.
And if you want to become and learn more, and even teach you even, but for you to really grasp this, to get the whole thing, the bayat is very important to your soul today. Very important to your soul today. Because we never know. 6 years ago, I woke up in the morning, going to work, heart attack. 2 weeks in coma. Last week, 90% oxygen that was given to my body. The doctor said he the Muslim brothers they're gonna bury him right here. I woke up, the doctor said Mr. Ellaby, he said you need to play the lottery, you walk right through death. Written down, order, this is all, they called me the miracle child. So we never know. So this is advice that I would take my bayat, because you're already there, you're searching. You came to us with that already. And now you're here. Because he was getting ready to go someplace. And then now you got the chance to do this. He took out his time and money because he's getting ready to take care of some things. And I got to get him back on that. Because that lady needs that. And
I'm a Melator.
I know you are, because we're going to make sure it goes out today.
She's going to see this video.
It's going to go out today. I'm going to make sure it goes out today. That would be beautiful.
How is that consistent?
Explain that, Sufi.
Process.
The bayat.
The bayat is 2 parts. The first part is in Arabic. I think you can still see it. But 2 parts. The first part is in Arabic because we're going from an outer circle to an inner circle. In Islam, anyone who comes to the path takes the Shahada, and that's in Arabic. And that is to say, the whole initiation is prayers, where I'll say the prayers in Arabic, and then in African language, Wolof, and you would say the prayers with me. But the first, I want to tell you what they mean. The first one says, La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah means there's only one God. Not 2, not 3, just one God. But it also says that this one God is the only reality. La ilaha illallah is an affirmation that Allah, God, is the only reality. And everything we think is real is empty, it's illusion. And then, yeah, la ilaha illallah, God is the only reality. The mind creates objects, shape, form, time, and space.
And God is
The essence of self. Yes. You are the only reality. The entire universe is the objectification of your own consciousness. The entire universe is the objectification of your own consciousness. Buddha says, mind is everything. Everything is mind. Everything is consciousness. So that's the first one. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, I bear witness that nothing exists but consciousness of God. Ashhadu an Muhammadu Rasulullah, I bear witness that Muhammad is the prophet of God. Meaning, all of these prophets that led up to Muhammad are found inside of the Muhammadan reality, or what we call Nur Muhammad. So that's why we use Muhammad's name in the initiation, because he was the last prophet that came with the Holy Quran. But that is including all the prophets. Prophet Muhammad said there's 125,000 prophets that came to mankind. There's only 28 prophets mentioned in the Holy Quran. So where is these other thousands of prophets? So then after that, we say in Arab, in Wolof, I received the initiation in my name. And I give it to the sheikh that I took initiation with, Salih, who was the son of the master who started our orders, Sheikh Ahmed Bamba. And Sheikh Ahmed Bamba said the initiation is so heavy, our system is based on the woman, the divine feminine energy. It's based on a matrilineal system. It's not patriarchal. Because the sheikh said when someone takes initiation, the light and the barakah and the blessing goes 7 generations through her mother's bloodline. So the initiation goes from the boom, boom, boom to you. From you to your mom, to her 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 mom. The light travels 7 generations through the matrilineal bloodline of the mother. And the light is so powerful it will break any generational curses or anything in your lineage that might have blocking you from reaching God realization. Yeah, it's like becoming a Super Saiyan. So yes, that is the initiation. It only takes about, then I'll say some prayers to bless it from Sheikh Ahmed Bamba. And I say, Barki Sring Sayu by the blessings of the Master 7 times, and I send the energy to your hands. You receive the chi energy over the crown chakra and over the heart. And that's the initiation. We'll give you some words of power and you start chanting.